Okay, I want to say hello again everybody, welcome to another video here. In this particular video here I want to talk to you more about martial arts, and so just briefly. I'm not going to speak for a long time but in this particular video, but martial arts has always been the most important thing in my life because it's been a window at times when I've been aware, and at times when I've been, what's the word, subconsciously, like just in it. Martial arts has been a bridge and a window and a path and a doorway, a connection way, a constant connection, even without doing it. It's been there, it's helped me, and it's been a connection to the ultimate truth, which is basically, to me, the Tao, okay? In Chinese, the Tao, okay? The way of nature, the true way of nature. There's no bullshit and BS there. It's talking absolute. There's two sides to everything. You look at the book, as I say, the Tao Te Ching. You can read this book, written by the great ancient philosopher Lao Tzu, okay? Lao Tzu is not to be confused with Kongzi, okay? Confucius. I'm not talking about Confucius and Confucianism. No. Neither am I really talking from a religious standpoint, like a Buddhism or a Zen and things like that. There's a lot of similarities and things like that, and I'm not religious myself as such, but it's very hard for me because I'm my whole life is geared towards the ways of that, what I've read up about the Tao and stuff throughout my life, and that is basically, the Tao basically is like the true way of, it's hard to say, you can't even call it a way, you can't even describe the thing. It's just the ultimate truth of everything, the things I don't know. It's everything that this modern world, this fake delusion, this illusion of society that we live in, any society, humanity all over the world, there's all the fake stuff that we encounter. It's the opposite of that, because all that stuff is built upon it. You can't build upon nature and make, in that. The truth is the truth. That's all there is. Everything is built from the ground upwards, you understand what I'm saying? Okay, or from a base upwards. So if you don't, on the planet Earth, we have gravity, and we'll have the ground, and you say, well, that's a sphere, if it's a sphere, in space. And you say, well, where's the ground in space? Exactly. Everything comes from a point. It comes from the ground itself, and the gravity, the whole ground from which everything is built is basically the essence of everything. The root of a tree. You've got the root of the whole development of the whole universe. How everything has come from something else and just constantly flowing and changing, and how the seasons change. They talk about that too, like the seasons, and you've got the 5 elements, like in Chinese, you've got the 5 elements and things like this, and how that works. And they talk about how things work. You can see it in the seasons, how things work, and they change, and how nature works. So like something gets destroyed, but in turn creates that. The water, the water, fire, earth, wind. Hold on one second while we're here, and I'll just get a quick thing up on my screen so I can give you a thing. We've got things like that, I'm not too sure about the 5 elements myself, and I'm kind of embarrassed to say, but it's like fire. I think it's fire, water, air, metal, is it? Let me just check. Earth. But you got things like that, and you got I'm not talking about everything here. I'm just, hold on one second. 5 elements. Look this shit up, man. Don't just come up with bullshit. And I love the way it says 5 elements theory. Fuck your theory, man. We're talking about this is reality. It's what people don't get. You just put down like just as though it's some. Okay, how do you pronounce this in Chinese? Because I can speak Chinese, as I say, but I don't know how to pronounce this. Wuxing. I can't pronounce that in Chinese. This particular thing. See, look, wow, man, it's used in traditional Chinese medicine as well. I'm going to go into this and we're going to have a look at this, okay? I think what we'll do is we'll go into this, okay? and I'll make a video on the 5 elements as well. Maybe we'll talk about this in some way. But yeah, you got this here. So the 5 elements are water, wood, fire, earth, metal, and then water. Right. So it goes back to water. It goes flows in that way. Okay. Let me just read this basically. It's got the phases too. The phases. And look what it says. It says part of a series on Taoism. So there we go. It is part of a series on Taoism. Okay. So let me just check this out. Hold on. Yeah. So let me. Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. Right. Cycles. Right. Here's the cycles. Right. Listen to this, man. This is just so amazing. Right. The phases in the cycle. Let me read this to you. Okay. Planet. Okay, so seeing. Okay, my pronunciation might not be too good in this, but some of these words, but of Wu Xing. Okay, 5 elements, right? Means moving. A planet is called a moving star. In Chinese, Wu Xing, right? Originally refers to the 5 major planets: Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, Mars, and Venus, that create 5 dimensions of Earth life. Wu Xing is also widely translated as 5 elements, okay, and this is used extensively by many, including practitioners of the 5 element acupuncture. This transition arose by false analogy with the Western system of the 4 elements. Whereas the classical Greek elements were concerned with substances or natural qualities, the Chinese Xing, it says here, are primarily concerned with process and change. Hence, the common translation as phases or agents. By the same token, Mu is thought of as tree rather than wood. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so the wood element is thus used within the context of Chinese medicine with a different meaning to its usual meaning. It should be recognized that the wood phase, although commonly preferred, is not perfect. Phase is a better translation for the 5 seasons. Okay, Wu Yun, it says Wu Yun, okay, mentioned below, and so agents or processes might be preferred for the primary term Xing. Okay. Manfred Pourkert attempts to resolve this by using evolutive phase, Wu Xing, okay, and circuit phase for Wu Yun, okay, but these terms are unwieldy. Some of the getting all this stuff on my screen. Some of the Mawandui, was it silk texts, no later than 168 BC, also present the Wu Xing as 5 virtues or types of activities. Listen, if you will. Within Chinese medicine texts, the Wu Xing are also referred to as Wu Yun, okay, Wu Yun, or a combination of the 2 characters Wu Xing Yun. Okay, Wu Xing Yun. Okay. These emphasis and correspondence of 5 elements to 5 seasons. 5 seasons. I've heard this before. Okay, 4 seasons plus 1. Okay. It sounds funny, but this is it. Another tradition refers to the Wu Xing as Wu De, the 5 virtues. I don't know. Okay. So this is. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Now we're going to talk about the phases. Listen to this, okay? This is on wikipedia.org/wiki/Wu Xing. Okay, Wu Xing. WU__XING. The cycles, okay. The doctrine of 5 phases describes two cycles: a generating or creation, okay, sheng, okay, cycle, also known as mother-son, mother to son, okay, and an overcoming or destruction, ke, this is a cycle, also known as grandfather-grandson, of interactions between the phases. Within Chinese medicine, the effects of these two main relations are further elaborated. Okay, so you've got inter-promoting, sheng cycle, mother-son, interacting, grandmother, grandson, so grandmother and grandson. Overacting, ke cycle, grandfather and grandson. Counteracting, reverse ke. So that's quite confusing stuff there, but let's move on to this good bit. Okay, hold on, if you're still with us. Yeah, the common memory jogs which help to remind in what order the phases are. Wood feeds fire. I'll put more wood on the fire, more logs on the fire. When Customado was teaching, I can't pronounce his name, man. Customato. Is like a tomato or what? He was, Mike Tyson's trainer. But anyway, yeah. So wood feeds fire. Okay, wood feeds fire. Then fire creates earth, and in brackets it says ash. Okay, so it creates the ash, the earth. Earth bears metal. I don't know why that is. How does this work? I don't even. I'm not up to knowledge on my science and stuff, but so somehow they're saying that, because I know they're saying that earth, metal, like elements and things like rocks and metal, it comes from the earth. Yeah, but like that comes from. How does that actually come from the ash of the earth, like the burnt wood ash? And how is that actually soil? I must be either dumb or not up to knowledge on that. So they're saying that, yeah, wood feeds fire if you put it in the fire. How does it feed fire too? I mean, the heat is one thing, right? The heat you make a fire. It can feed a fire. I guess it's right, it can, in the flow of what can. Okay, what can then? Okay, let's just say wood feeds fire. Makes the fire bigger. The fire doesn't create earth of nothing, though, does it? The fire then destroys the earth, destroys the wood, and makes that turn into ash. Ash and soil, are they the same thing? Come on, are they? This is what we need to do some more. But it says here, okay, it creates ash, what they are trying to call soil, because they're saying earth. Maybe it is, I don't know. Maybe I don't understand it. This is earth bears metal. Bears metal, it comes from the earth. But how does that metal actually come from the burnt wood, which is ash, which they're trying to say is soil? But still, okay, that's what the idea is, okay. Water nourishes wood. So, oh yeah, the fourth one. So the fourth one is metal collects water. How the fuck is that? So, I thought it was trying to say water comes from metal. It's my understanding, I think. It's what I'm trying to work out. Trying to understand it. My lack of understanding is what it is, but we're talking about generating here, under the generating part, okay? Generating, this part is what we want, generating, okay? The generating part. I guess this is the first part of the phase, I guess, what they're talking about. The first part. They've given two parts that they've given here. So wood feeds fire, fire creates earth, which is ash, earth bears metal, metal collects water, then water nourishes wood, and then we have a cycle which makes the wood grow again. So you're trapped in that cycle. You can't escape nature, right? Now, other common words for this cycle include begets, engenders, and mothers. Now, overcoming, okay, wood parts earth, okay, wood parts earth, such as roots or trees can Ah, prevent soil erosion. Hold on. Such as roots or trees can prevent soil erosion. Okay. I guess. Earth dams or muddies or absorbs water. Okay. Water extinguishes fire, yes. Fire melts metal, yes. Metal chops wood. See, this is when these elements was used in the martial arts. If you look at old school kung fu films, and it sounds funny to some people, but that's when they talk about the elements, how you put into fighting techniques, and this is really true in ancient true kung fu and martial arts. Okay, put in the 5 elements into technique. And even one of my teachers years ago was talking about the 5 elements and using the 5 elements. There's actually I believe a 5 elements fist. I'm not too sure. There's 5 animals, I know that, and there's 5 elders, but I do believe there's a 5 elements fist of kung fu style, an old style too. It's kind of embarrassing for me to say I do believe, because I should know that. I've heard of it used in martial arts, but not an actual system. I'm pretty sure there is one too. So you'd use metal to defeat wood. I've heard it mentioned in ninjutsu in Japanese terms. I don't know how to say it in Japanese. If you know, maybe you know. It's used in ninjutsu. They use the elements too for a lot of things and skills. But now it says it cosmology and feng shui. Okay, feng shui. Okay. Feng shui. Okay, so according to Wusing theory, the structure of the cosmos mirrors the 5 phases. Each phase has a complex series of associations with different aspects of nature, as can be seen in the following table. In the ancient Chinese form of what's this one? Geomancy, known as feng shui. Okay, practitioners are all based their art and system on the 5 phases. All of these phases are represented within the triagrams associated with these phases and colours, seasons and shapes, all of which are interacting with each other based on a particular directional energy flow from one phase to the next. The interaction can be expansive, destructive or exhaustive. So again, expansive, destructive or exhaustive. A proper knowledge of each aspect of energy flow will enable the feng shui practitioner to apply certain cures or rearrangement of energy in a way they believe to be beneficial for the receiver of the feng shui treatment. Okay, so I'm not going to read all this here, but they're basically, okay, I will read it quickly. Right, you got things here, right? You got the Chinese, you got the Hanzi. Okay, I'm not going to read that for you here. We've also got triagrams, these markings on the screen here. I can't show you here, sorry. Okay, but basically, I'm not even going to read the whole thing to you here, okay, but it's basically saying there are different words and things associated with the elements, okay. And this is really weird how they've got metal, fire, wood, water, earth. I don't know, but they've got the elements, okay, basically here. And different ones are connected to different ones. So what I'll do is I'll just read certain things. We've got like planets, colours, days, seasons, so many things all connected. So for example, metal. Under metal we have heaven, Neptune, the colour indigo, Friday, autumn and west for a direction. Metal also we have a lake, Venus, white, Friday, autumn and west. For fire we have fire, and then we have Mars, crimson, Tuesday, summer and south. For wood we have thunder, Jupiter, green, Thursday, spring and east. And for wood we also have wind, Pluto, scarlet. What colour is scarlet? Thursday, spring and east. For water, okay, we have water, Mercury, black, Wednesday, winter and north. For earth we have mountain, Uranus, purple, Saturday, intermediate and centre. For earth we have Also, field, okay, field, Saturn, yellow, Saturday, intermediate and centre. So what the heck that means, who knows? You're going to have to go deep into that stuff to study that. You know what, I'm not even going to read all the... This is deep, man. Look at this, you've got sand, metal, forest fire, meadow wood, adobe earth, damn it. Precious metal, lamp fire, sky, water, highway earth, jewellery metal, mulberry wood, rapids water, rapids for water, desert earth, sunfire, pomegranate wood, ocean water. All these different things, they're talking about connections with different fucking things, excuse my language, of how things are connected. They've got astrology and all this different stuff they're talking about. You see how, look at this here, above that, I should have read that. Just looking at this here, Chinese medicine, okay? Dynastic transitions, right? According to the Warring States period, political philosopher, I'm not going to read the guy's name, I'm not going to mess it up. If I can't pronounce it, each of the 5 elements possesses a personified virtue, okay, which indicates the foreordained destiny union with a dynasty according to the cycle succession of the elements. Also indicates dynastic transitions. It claims that the mandate of heaven sanctions the legitimacy of a dynasty by sending self-manifesting auspicious signs in the ritual colour yellow, blue, white, red and black that matches the element of the new dynasty, earth, wood, metal, fire and water. From the Qin dynasty onward, most Chinese dynasties invoked the theory of the 5 elements to legitimise their reign. Fuck, so they're saying about how they reigned over the land and the dynasties and I guess the kings and whatever emperors or whatever, however they run the land, they were studying all this stuff. This was deep in the history, the astrology, everything, nature, it's deep, you know. I knew that anyway, but I'm just saying. Now, whatever's true of whatever here, who knows? We're talking about seeking truth in life, is what I'm talking about. But you'd be a fool to reject a lot of this stuff, and not look into it. But I mean, it's deep, and it's like some of the stuff you're like, man, what are they going on about? You know, the colour indigo and the east-west, goddamn, the mountains and the planet Uranus, and what colour matches what with what time of day. And it's like, what the heck, you know? Just be peaceful, man, and live and let live is what I say. But okay, but let's look at it. Okay, Chinese medicine, the interdependence of what's this say? Zhang Fu networks is the body. In the body was said to be a cycle of 5 things, and so mapped by the Chinese doctors onto the 5 phases. And everybody knows, a lot of people know that Chinese medicine and things like that, and acupuncture have got a history and things like that in Chinese, and they use the elements and stuff like that in their medicine and all the rest of it, right? Now look at this, what it says here. Look, movement, right? Mental quality, oh my days, man. Emotion, bodily organs, sensory organ, body part, body fluid, finger, sense. I'm going to read this fucking stuff to you. We can look at this again in another video. Listen to this, right? Movement, okay? Wood. I'm just going to read these out, okay? To you, okay? So you got the movement. I don't know what the hell it's talking about. Movement. There we go. It's a movement. Everything's in a flow, right? Okay, so wood. Okay. Underneath wood we have Jupiter, idealism, spontaneity, curiosity, the mental quality. The emotion is anger and kindness. So these are things linked to or associated with wood. Okay. So with wood we have idealism, spontaneity, curiosity. Emotion is anger and kindness. In the same boat. Okay, the song, the yin, so the organs. Okay, liver. Okay, the liver. If you hold on 1 second, I'll be back in a moment. Okay, hold on, guys. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, hold on. Really, really sorry. If you bear with me, okay, for 1 minute. I'll be back in a moment. Hold on one second. Okay guys, I'm back. Sorry about that, I'm back now. Let's just get back to what we're saying. It's just fascinating stuff. I'm just reading this up here. Sorry about that. So sorry about that, yeah. So basically what we got is, right, for the liver, right, so that's associated with wood. Gallbladder. The eyes. Yeah, I've heard people say this, right? Not necessarily the wood of the tree, but people telling me in China, even younger people telling me, yeah, you look at green, you know, look at anything green and it's good for the eyes. It does feel kind of comfortable. I don't know if that's true or not. That's like the leaves of the tree though, isn't it? So look up at the tree and you'll feel better. Okay, body part, tendons. Okay. Body fluid, tears. So they're saying water, aren't they? Water and the wood and that. Finger, index finger. It's not the middle finger, is it? I can't wait to see what one. Okay, sight is the sense of sight. So sight again, yeah. So you see, you know what I'm trying to say? How young people I've met here in China, young people, young college students, 19-year-olds, 18, 19-year-olds, telling me things like this. Like certain things they know. It's just so drummed in. Certain things like this are drummed into certain people. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. It's in the culture somewhere. Because I've been living in China for so long, so many years, as I say. But it's like a young person to tell me, you know, about look at the trees, it's good for your eyes, and what? You know what? Anyway, but it says it here. You know, it's okay. It is sight. Okay, taste sour, smell rancid. Early childhood, it's the lifetime. Scaly, an animal that's scaly. So what the heck is all that supposed to, how is that supposed, are these supposed to link up in some way? And what creature would you have if you had made one? Fire, okay. Linked with fire we have Mars. I'm going to read these quickly, okay. Mars, passion, intensity, hate, resolve, heart, pericardium, small intestine, sangel, tongue, pulse, sweat, middle finger, taste, bitter, scorched, pre-puberty, feathered. Earth, Saturn, agreeableness, honesty, anxiety, joy, spleen, pancreas, stomach, mouth, muscles, saliva, thumb, touch, sweet, fragrant, adolescent, intermediate, human. Oh, human, okay. I'm not surprised, it comes from Earth, right? Yeah, okay, here, metal, Venus, intuition, rationality, mind, grief, bravery, lung, bravery, the sword, the metal sword, right, bravery. Okay, lung, large intestine, nose, skin, mucus, ring finger, smell, pungent, umami, rotten, umami, what the fuck that is, adulthood, third, okay, water, so adulthood and third, and then this one is water, mercury, erudition, resourcefulness, wit, fear, gentleness, kidney, urinary bladder, ears, bones, urine, pinky finger, hearing, salty, putrid, old age, conception, shelled. I don't understand what that's all about. And don't forget here, we got more I didn't read earlier. You got sea metal, furnace fire, forest wood, road earth, sword metal. Hang on, a sword is what you make and a road's what you make. That's not natural, but still. Volcanic fire, cave water, fortress earth, wax metal, willow wood, stream water, roof tiles, earth, lightning fire, conifers wood and river water. I read the other ones earlier, so I'm not going to read the other side. Again, movement. What's this in? In music, okay. Yue Ling chapter of the Li Li and the Hua Nanzi, making the following corrections, okay. Oh my goodness, in musicology, Chinese musicology. The colour, for fuck's sake, okay, for you got red, green for wood, red for fire, yellow for earth, white for metal, black for water. And then you got the directions and stuff, and it says the direction, and then look at this, man. Look, the music, like the notes. What is that about? So playing music to kind of emphasize different notes of direction in the world, east, south, west. What? And here's this one here. Look at this now. You want to know about this, man? Martial arts. Finally, we're on the topic we're supposed to be on, man. I'm not going to read all that what it says up there about the musical notes and stuff. It's about Greek philosophy as well and stuff there. Okay, the first thing that they've written is Tai Chi Chuan, okay, which is Tai Chi Chuan, as I say. Tai Chi, right, Tai Chi. Uses the 5 elements to designate different directions, positions, or footwork patterns, either forward, backward, left, right, and centre, or 3 steps forward, attack, and 2 steps back, retreat. The 5 steps: Wu Bu, Jin Bu, Cui Bu, what's this? Zuo Gu, okay, You Pan, Zhong Ding. So basically you've got step forward, step backward, in simplified characters, step left, right step, central position, balance, equilibrium. And it says here that okay, look at this here, okay. So for movement, okay, it says Xing Yi Chuan uses 5. It's a kind of martial art, okay, kung fu. Uses the 5 elements metaphorically to represent 5 different states of combat. Okay, if you bear with me, and we'll talk about that. Okay, there's 5 different states of combat in the Xing Yi Chuan. Okay, in terms of the 5 elements. If you hold on 1 second there, we'll talk about how they emphasize the 5 elements. Right? Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, yeah. Damn fucking noises outside and doors banging and stuff. I'm wondering who the hell it is. Okay, so movement, okay, and then it says fist, or basically how the fist is being used, the hand, okay. So metal for the element, splitting, okay, P in Chinese, to split like an axe, chopping up and over, okay, so up and over, okay, like that, basically up and over. Water is of drilling, so Zuan drilling forward horizontally like a geyser. So I guess they mean like maybe drilling, like a punch, drilling, twisting in, as you're punching, like that kind of thing. Kind of, I don't know exactly. Wood, crushing. Wood is for crushing. Bung, to collapse as a building collapsing in on itself. I don't know, maybe if they're talking about crushing like a smashing over like a back fist. I can't imagine how that would be, or coming down like this, smashing. But it's saying on itself, like I don't know, absorbing. I don't know. The next one is fire, pounding, because pow, exploding outward like a cannon while blocking. While blocking. I don't know if they mean some kind of blocking of the cannon while it's firing, or do they mean actually blocking and defending like in martial arts? I guess that's what they mean. So you're like maybe like exploding out, doing some kind of like explosive shot, but as you're covering yourself at the same time, or with the other hand. I don't know exactly, but it's something like I see them doing that. I see them like blocking and then shooting out in the style. Okay, Earth. Please excuse me, I'm talking too much about this shit. Sorry. Earth. Crossing. Heng. crossing across the line of attack while turning over. In martial arts description, okay? Yeah. So crossing across the line of attack whilst turning over. Maybe they mean like kind of like blocking and parrying. Like you're going across, you're going in, but you're turning over. Like in Wing Chun, I practice so much Wing Chun, as you know. I teach Wing Chun to Yong Chun. As I'm coming in, someone's attacking. I'm not just going to go forward. I'm going to cross the line of attack, and I'm blocking across their line of attack. Or I might step to the side slightly, but I'm going across, like smothering that, going across and coming in. Deflection, like redirecting that, flapping it over, folding over, wrapping over as I'm going in. So as I'm going in. Now, I'm so sorry, man. Bad throw here. Tea ceremony. You get that. You hear the samurai stuff, like people talking about like in the samurai days in Japan and stuff. But it says like Budo and that, you know. There are spring, summer, fall, and winter teas. Well, didn't know that. The perennial tea ceremony includes 4 tea settings and a tea master. What? Yep. Okay. Each tea setting is arranged and stands for the 4 directions: north, south, east, and west. A vase or a vase of the season's flowers is put on the table. The tea settings are earth, and it says incense, yellow centre up and down, wood, spring wind, green east, fire, summer dew, red, south, metal, fall sounds, white, west, water, winter, sunshine, blue, so black, blue, and north. I don't understand a thing about that. A thing about that. I'm telling you now. We've more or less come to the end of this part. But it says here, okay, see also colour in Chinese culture. I'm going to look at that. We'll look at that, I think, next time. Flying star feng shui, okay. Wow. Humorism. What's that? Is it anything to do with humour? I don't think so. Qi. Got to look at that qi. And then you got Wuxing painting. Man, I love my art. So what the fuck is Wuxing painting? 5 elements painting. We got to learn some shit about that. I've got to start putting some stuff like that into my art, man. Then you got Zhang Fu, which I think from what we just read there is about the body or the organs of the body, if I'm not mistaken. So some of these look fascinating. Colour in Chinese culture, I'm interested in what that's about. We should learn more about the qi. Zhang Fu would also be good, I guess, to learn about the body and stuff here, about the organs, because it would help to know about the body and the health. Humorism, no, it's still about about the body. Okay, so they were always into the health and the body maintenance. You see, you know. Long history of studying health there and nature. That's what you got in Chinese history, right? A lot of study of the world around them, nature and health, and how to be practical within martial arts, obviously, for the health and protecting yourself. Very scientific, deep, profound knowledge and wisdom. Anyway, you got the qi here, and then Wuxing painting. Man, what's that? Wow. Okay. Wuxing is a synthesis of traditional painting with its namesake philosophic tradition Wuxing, or more specifically the use of Chinese xie painting techniques and the metaphysics of the Wu Ying elements. Wuxing elements. Wuxing painting also inherited some traits from several wushu, okay, and qigong schools. What the fuck? So now they're saying it. We've been talking about music, we've been talking about astrology, we've been talking about all kinds of animals and stuff. Animals, right? We're talking about the 5 elements and all that. Well, we started off talking about the Tao and Yin and Yang, but you got to remember, all this stuff is based into this. It's what it's about. All in nature. I use certain simple examples to talk about life and following reality, but they've actually, they've got a proper deep study of everything, reality. So anyway, the physical world around us, at least. Anyway, and you got this here, and it says here, so you got your music and stuff, but you got your art, and that's connected with wushu. They say martial arts. I don't know if I'm getting confused with that, but it's like, wow. Okay. So and then chi, obviously chi. Okay, and he says about the chi here in traditional Chinese culture, chi or chi, okay, is believed to be the vital force forming part of any living entity. Chi translates as air. What? And figuratively means figuratively as material energy, life force or energy flow. Chi is the central underlying principle in China is traditional medicine and in Chinese martial arts. The practice of, and then I can't read what it says below that. It's like just shows you a small part. Martial arts, definitely, yeah. And you got loads more references underneath, like external links and stuff to different websites and stuff you can go to, looking about the Wuxing, which is a W-U, then X-I-N-G. So okay, that's the 5 elements. So I've given you a very fast reading here on a load of stuff that I've just found online regarding that. And I was going to talk about martial arts, and it was going to be a short talk. Now, martial arts is literally about reality. You know, it's based on reality, is what I'm trying to say, right? Everything we do comes from an origin of reality, even though you may go far from it. Reality is absolutely the only thing you're connected to, or you'll be floating around in space, mate. If not, you've got to find where that ground is under your feet, you know. So, it's fascinating, right? The elements and all this, and then they've got emotions and characteristics of this or that. It's just crazy. You know, the martial arts is fantastic, fascinating. I'll say that. You know, the technique, the splitting, the crushing, the absorbing, the deflect. Yeah, that's interesting. But I want to see about this, man. I think the next one I want to look at is definitely the Wuxing painting. I don't know. I'm just looking at it briefly here. In fact, it's just I've just looked. It's only a small paragraph. Or I'll read that to you before I go. Wuxing painting, 5 elements painting, right? Wuxing is I guess that's what they mean. Yeah. Okay. Wuxing is a synthesis of traditional painting with its namesake philosophic tradition Wuxing, or more specifically the use of Chinese Xie painting techniques and the metaphysics of the 5 Wuxing elements. Wuxing, I think the Xing means, I'm not too sure if they're referring to 5 planets. I still think they are. Also inherited some traits from several Wushu and Shigok schools. Get this. There's the history right there. The closest in style is Xing Yiquan, very fascinating, I don't know why, whose 5 primarily movements are balanced with the 5 elements of Wuxing, because Wuxing painting techniques are associated foremost with the consciousness and overcoming corporal restraint. That's what I'm talking about. Be artistic, don't be a goddamn fucking slave. So, yeah, same, right? Traits, okay. Hold on. Restraints. Yeah, so it is common to speak of the manifest art therapy influence of this method, okay, because the philosophical and technical components of this type of painting have been taken from Chinese culture. It is common to hear it referred to as Chinese Wuxing painting. Wuxing painting has a total of 5 brush strokes. Okay, 5 brush strokes, and I've seen it in movies, old school kung fu movies, where you've got masters fighting. And I saw this one where this guy was using a big brush, and he was like painting words on the ground, like writing, or something like that. And he was like, every stroke he was referring to as wood, metal, or different elements. I thought, what the fuck's that about? But it says it here, look. Corresponding elements gave for the 5 different brushstroke movements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Wuxing painting is metaphysics. Through Wuxing painting, one can create a picture identical in its external appearance to any example of traditional painting. In this regard, there is no difference between Wuxing painting and Chinese painting. Still, if one compares Wuxing painting to Guohua, there are a number of Guohua, I can't pronounce that properly, I'm sorry. A number of differences in technique. Traditional Guohua painting is divided into several genres. Okay, mountains, oh my god, right? Mountains and water, birds and branches, grass and insects, etc., and does not usually extend beyond these genres. Okay. Wuxing painting is not tied to any genres. Oh, good, okay, yeah, okay. So, the point, yeah. So, using the 5 brushstrokes, the artist can paint everything that he wants. Traditionally, Chinese Guohua painting inherited an attachment to rice paper and silk, as well as to a certain type of paint, while Wuxing has no such limitations. The single most important thing for the artist who practices Wuxing painting is an attractive image harmoniously constructed using the Wuxing system. Everything else is secondary, including the type of artistic materials, the genre, and so on. So, okay, it sounds fascinating. You're not limited like other styles, right? So, Wuxing in 5 elements painting, they're talking about it's a style where you're using, 5 different kinds of brush strokes that are supposedly given links to elements, ideas, if you want to call it that. Real or not, I don't know, but I don't know, it's just it's still an artistic human expression, I'd call it though. But he's basically talking about using those methods and those strokes to create art. So it's using a style without a style, sort of thing. Again, it's in martial arts, style without a style, like Bruce Lee was saying. So you create any kind of style. You're not limited, so there's no style that you have to be stuck in, but you're using that style of painting. So it's like you might be doing Tai Chi, for example, to fight. You might be using a martial art, but you're not limited to the way you can express it freely. You see what I'm trying to say? And vice versa. It's like, you know what I'm trying to say though. So like a style without a style. I don't know. It's like, so you can do any style, but you're not limited. Okay, so we do have some websites on here, but it seems like an old thing. I don't know if people can actually learn about how to actually do that. I'm not too bothered anyway. I'll talk to you guys again later, man. I was going to start this video off talking about some other more stuff that we can make sense of, like as easy as that. Sorry if you're falling asleep. Well, we had a little chat today, and I want to say I was talking to you about quite a few things. I was going to talk to you about jiu-jitsu, like how I'm not a big fan of it, and I'm not a fan of MMA anyway, and the UFC and stuff like that. But it's like I was going to say about how like there's some video or something that's popped up. Someone referred something to me. I'm not going to go on to look at it now, but so the conspiracy of something like the conspiracy of Gracie jiu-jitsu. I'm not interested in all of that. It's like, the truth is, right, there's an ignorance in the martial arts, right? First of all, sport fighting, that's like ego anyway. But in terms of martial arts, right, you shouldn't be limited, this is the thing. Every martial art, I think, is better for different things. It's the same as every technique is better for different things. You're supposed to use them in different ways for situations. No martial art's perfect anyway. You're going to be able to use the techniques and that style and everything in a perfect way every single time. You just can't, to win a fight. So it's better to know different techniques and different systems, and again, every situation is different. And how would you be able to fight and defend yourself? You know, it depends on the situation. But you know, it's not like, this is the problem. It's not what art's better over what art. It's not about what art's superior. It's not even about the lineage and this or that. What they're talking about. Study all martial arts is my advice. Study. You don't have to study them all. I'm saying study. The more you study, the more you'll know. So you're wrong to put down different arts or different people for their opinion about things. Or that's what it is. You just learn and practice and see what works for you. That's what it is. But the more practice you get, you'll get to know about it more. But then the more practice you really get with yourself, regardless of what teachers you've studied under, if you've got more free time, you practice by yourself or practice sparring with people, you'll actually find ways of making things work. You'll actually even become better using a certain art, a certain martial arts skill or art or technique or skill, move, whatever. You'll become better at using certain things, even if you spent more formal time training under another system, under someone, and less with another, but you might practice that one much more and you'll be able to make it work for you more. And it's not about who your teacher was even necessarily, and it's not even about who the art, which art is better than what art. No, you've got to be the master of whatever you got. The artist has to hold the brush or hold the pen, you know, a pencil, whatever. With that, someone who's holding a tool, someone who's holding a sword, a weapon, someone who's cooking, they have to have control of the car they're driving or the aeroplane they're flying, or the, you know, or the whatever it is that, you know, that you're using. You've got to be able to, you know, use it. Cleaning your window, cleaning. You have some care in how you clean that window. You know what I'm saying? So, talk to you later. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching this damn long video. Thank you for watching. Yeah. Thank you.